The cold weather season is upon us. How exciting. I adore the cold weather season. However, I think in this upcoming season, fall and winter, right? I think this is the most important season to get your footwear right. Because in summer, right, we can bop around in a little Hermes Oran. We can bop around in a little lace-up sandal. We can bop around in whatever sneaker. It's not that important. I would say fall and winter is the season to not shop for your fantasy self in terms of footwear, apart from the holiday parties. The holiday parties are a different story entirely. We have a lot of shoes to get through. We're gonna talk about loafers, we're gonna talk about sneakers, we're gonna talk about boots, both the short and the tall version, and we're gonna talk about some heel options too. Okay, so loafers for the cold weather season. I think loafers, at least here in Sweden, might be a little bit so-so. Like, it might work in early fall, but as soon as it gets a little bit like colder towards winter, I mean, I cannot wear loafers anymore, right? Because they will simply not be warm enough for my little footsies to keep warm, you know? So this will probably be a short-lived segment, but in terms of loafers, I mean, obviously, if you live in a warmer climate than me, you can wear loafers probably like all fall and all winter. This color combo is not ideal with the red and the purple, but essentially, if we're gonna wear a loafer, at least in my opinion, I think a chunky loafer will serve you better. I think the thin little flimsy loafers, wear them in summer, but when fall rolls around, I think the chunkier the loafer, the better. A chunky loafer with a little bit of a heftier sole, I think will be your go-to in fall. This is a Gucci loafer with a treated leather that I've had literally for forever. These are my fun shoes. These are the shoes that I bring out when I need a little bit of an additional pop of color. These loafers I think are fabulous. I don't wear them nearly as much as I should. I have another shiny loafer with a treated leather to show you. These are a recent pre-loved find. These are a espresso brown loafer with a little gold buckle detail. They're no special brand, they just look like a grandma loafer and I'm here for it. These I will also wear in fall, both because they do have a little bit more of a substantial sole and because they have that treated leather. So if it rains, these will not cry. You know, when it rains, it pours, you wear a treated leather loafer. Just like these. You don't have to have these specific ones, obviously. These specific ones you probably won't even be able to buy because they're so old, but the chunky loafers that you've worn in summer, continue to wear them into fall and winter if you're lucky in terms of the climate that you live in. But loafers, I think, are key for fall, especially like styled with a little, I mean, obviously, if you wear like slacks or something, a little loafer goes fabulously, but if you wear a little skirt or something, pair a little loafer with a sock. Then you have an additional layer of warmth and you have that cute like sock plus loafer combo. Obsessed, we love, we adore. In most seasons, white sneakers are super cute. I think for fall and winter though, white sneakers are actually not my favorite. I think fall and winter are the seasons to like bring out your little bit more of interesting sneaker options. For example, we have these Vans. I'm not gonna tell you about the Adidas Sambas or the Specials or whatever. You can watch literally any other YouTuber talk about the Adidas cool girly sneakers. Here we have some of my favorite autumn sneakers. These are a pair of suede and corduroy Vans. They're corduroy navy blue on one side and they're corduroy gray on the other side. So these literally go with all of my outfits. Yes, you do have to spray them down with a little bit of suede protectant spray, right? Because obviously suede and the rainy vibes of fall, at least in the climate that I live in here in Sweden, right? Not the most practical, but I mean, practicality is not always the thing for me, but these I have worn in rain also because, like I said, sprayed them down with water protectant spray. They do have a chunky sole, so I feel like even if I walk in the rain with these, yes, the rain comes this way, but even if I walk in a little bit of puddles and stuff, they're pretty much protected, right, from the elements as far as the thick chunky sole goes. Bring back the Vans, like maybe even the little checkered Vans. Oh my god, I think they're so cute. Like, I walked into a shoe store not too long ago. I saw the checkered Vans in like a white and navy blue and like a white and green. OMG, so obsessed. I think we need to bring them back, honestly. We have some more suede sneakers that are not the Adidas Sambas. These are my Puma sneakers. These Puma sneakers in this delicious green color. OMG, so obsessed. I think if you want something that looks a little bit like the Adidas vibe, but you don't want to fight every girly and their mom for the Adidas sneakers, then maybe opt for like a Puma sneaker. Because look at them, they're so timeless, they look retro. I wore these and my dad was like, those are nice, I could have some of those too. They look like the shoes I wore when I was like a teen, and I'm like, that is so cool. I adore anything retro and like vintage looking, and I think these are just as easy to style as like an Adidas Samba, right? That everyone is styling. So look at the Adidas Samba like style inspo and just get yourself one of these and just wear them. I think these are just as chic, just as stylish. Just look at that green color. OMG obsessed. I'm not sure if these are available this season, but I mean, they're a classic Puma little suede sneaker. So even if this specific color is not available, I'm sure there are other chic colors that are available this season. Lastly, Tod's make sneakers. My mom recently bought a pair of Tod's sneakers. I was obsessed, so I kind of bought a pair too. I think Tod's sneakers are underrated. Tod's makes brilliant footwear. Tod's is one of those brands that it's been around for forever. You have that signature little, you know, dot kind of pattern, right? You have it under the shoe here, which you also have like on the driving shoes that Tod's makes. These are just brilliant. I think a little like navy loafer was definitely missing from my collection, and now I have these and I'm so obsessed. These are kind of a new book, I would say, leather. These I have moisturized and I have sprayed them down with some protectant spray. So these I'm totally fine with wearing in the weather, but in terms of like a sneaker, think about something with a little bit of a chunky sole and a little bit of a color that you enjoy wearing for fall. Because why not like be a little bit fun with the color choice when you're like wearing a sneaker? You know, a sneaker is a pretty casual shoe anyway, so why not make it a little bit colorful and fun, right? She says, talking about navy blue sneakers, so colorful and fun. Let's talk about boots. Boots are everything for fall. Okay, so a Chelsea boot first is an obvious one. I am on the hunt for an RM Williams Chelsea boot. I think for those like days where you have to have weatherproof shoes, an RM Williams would do so well. I have looked into the like Bluntstone boots too, because I think those are similar and pretty cute, but I think if you're looking into buying one of those types of shoes, I think from my research, right, I don't own any of them, but from my research it looks like the RM Williams one are a little bit better in terms of quality of the craftsmanship of the shoe. I think the Bluntstone, because it has like a glued sole, it's not like properly put together as like a shoemaker would recommend you to do, right? For example, with RM Williams with like the Goodyear welt or whatever, so that if the sole wears out, you can literally change the sole. You don't have to buy a new shoe. Sure, they're a little bit more expensive up front, but you know my kind of theory on this. I'd rather buy something well once and take care of it versus buy something that I know that I will have to replace like quicker, you know? So I'd rather invest more upfront, take care of it versus buy several, if that makes sense. Right, but boots. Maybe let's talk about my newest obsessions first. I think a suede boot in fall, oh so not practical, I know, but a suede boot in fall, it's just giving the fall vibes. It's just simply giving what has to be gave. I still need to take these to the cobbler because these still have a leather sole. If your fall boots have a leather sole, shame on you and shame on me, because if it's a rainy day, I definitely cannot wear these right now, because I mean a leather sole with rain, it would just soak up the rain and the shoe would literally, like the sole of the shoe would literally be destroyed. Go get a rubber sole put under them. I will do that with these, but I just haven't done it yet. These are from Angela C. These are literally such a high quality boot. They have a stitched sole. They have a leather sole at that. They have a really like nice feeling in terms of quality suede, and then obviously This chocolate brown suede color is absolutely everything for fall. So these I cannot recommend enough. Like I wore them a full day out on Saturday. I didn't get a single blister, which is a great thing in my book. More suede boots. We're going to talk about a lot of suede shoes. Like I said, with any of these for the cold weather season, spray them down with water protectant spray. Don't only do that once per season, do that several times per season, right? Because the water protectant spray, it, like if it rains a little bit a few times, it will wear off, so just keep spraying it. It's an inexpensive way to prolong the lifespan of your footwear. These are from ATP Atelier. I think ATP Atelier makes beautiful boots. These feel like such high quality once again in terms of the suede. I have worn them a lot. I think it's time for them to get some TLC with a little bit of, you know, brushing the suede a little bit to make it look shiny and new again, and spray them with some protectant spray and just give them the TLC they deserve. These are also such a high quality boot. These are my Ash little kind of Western looking boot, if you will. They are a pointy toe. They have a tiny heel. These I do not count as a heeled boot. These are still in the flat boot category. If you don't like a heel at all, maybe you would count this as a heeled boot, but okay. These are also such great quality. Ash boots are, in my opinion, some of the best. Literally, these I've worn so much. As you know, I was on the way to declutter them, but then I started wearing them and I realized how comfortable they are. These I can literally walk like a 10,000 step day in without my feet hurting, which says a lot. So Ash boots, amazing quality, brilliant boots. If you haven't tried Ash boots already, do look into them. A similar boot. These are from Stuart Weitzman. I think it was last year, I did like a full Stuart Weitzman focused video in terms of my shoe collection and my reflections and recommendations on which Stuart Weitzman boots to buy. These I think are great. These were my first Stuart Weitzman boots. I've had them, I think, for longer than I want to admit. I think I had these in university, so I probably have owned these for like over 10 years now at least. So these have served me super well. I've worn them a lot. Similarly, they have a little bit of a heel, but I can walk for so far in these. And if you want to know more about Stuart Weitzman shoes, maybe check out that video for a little bit more of a deep dive. Those were my little short boots. Now, if you're not really a Chelsea boot kind of person, right? Which I had this conversation with my parents this weekend, and my mom was like, yeah, Chelsea boots are cute, but I like a lace-up boot. Personally, I'm not really a lace-up boot person, which was why this video came to be, literally, because we went around, tried some lace-up boots, and I'm just like, those are not for me. But I think they're so cute on other people. If you're like, yes, a Chelsea boot, okay, fine. It looks like a riding boot, basically. Which it does. It looks like a little jodhpur, which I think is why I adore them so much. But a lace-up boot, I think, can be such a good like staple in your wardrobe, especially if they lace up a little bit further up your leg. Like not like, you know, riding boot style up to your knee kind of thing. Then think they might look a little bit like not timeless, but what were they called? Like, were they called like the troopers or something? Troppa, was that the troppa boot? Was that what they were called? I think I'm like, if I'm not right, then I'm gonna sound crazy. But those boots, everyone had. I really wanted them. I did buy some Ash lace-up boots, but I realized with that purchase that I don't like a lace-up boot. But what I was gonna say, if you buy a lace-up boots that lace ups a little higher, right, versus just at the little like ankle bone, right, but like maybe like, you know, a little bit higher, then I think they can be super cute, especially like with skirts, with jeans, with, I don't know, pants, with whatever. I think they can be such a versatile boot if you buy the right lace-up boot, you know? But those are brilliant. I think another lace-up boot that I think is classic and that has longevity in most people's wardrobes are these. These are not like my favorite fashion boot. A Dr. Martin, I think, is one of those boots that you cannot go wrong with. They're not like horribly expensive. They do hold up well. They last. They do have a chunky sole. They like hold up against weather in general, like just moisturize them once in a while, which I haven't done with these in a long time, so I need to do that. But it's a lace-up boot, it's a classic style. A Dr. Martin will never go out of fashion, in my opinion. A Dr. Martin is key. Everyone should have one of these. Not the least just to wear when it's like literally miserable weather and you're like, oh my god, I don't want to ruin any of my other shoes. Then you just pick the Dr. Martens. They will not get ruined. They will stand the test of time like there's no tomorrow. I got these when I was in high school. What a time to be a leaf. That was like 15 years ago or something. I've had these for like half of my life, literally. And they still look okay. I think these were called the Serena boot or something at that time. I do want to recall. They're the ones with the little fluff inside, but these are literally brilliant. Also, in the cold weather seasons, we need... It's not a want, it's a need. We need a water-resistant boot. These are from Vivaia. I am not in collaboration with Vivaia in this video, but I was gifted these a while ago. And these are the boots I wear when it's like a little bit of like meh, rainy, like not ideal weather for any of my other boots. Then I bring these out and I can literally walk through puddles. I can walk in the like pouring rain and my boots are okay and my feet are not wet. My boots. I would say size up in these because they are pretty rigid in terms of the size, right? It's not a leather boot. It's made of recycled plastic bottles, right, that are cleaned up from ocean and city waste. So they are a sustainable shoe choice, but since they're not leather, they will not like expand with your foot, right? So the size you buy is the size you will get. The ones I got, I feel are a little bit snug if I want to wear like a thick sock with them. I did get my true size. My size is 37.5. If I could go back, I would probably get these in a 38 so that I had a little bit more room for a thick sock, right? But these are just brilliant for those like days when the weather is weathering, you know? Now, those were the like lower boots, right? But we need the higher boots too for fall and winter. Here, I would say riding boots and over-the-knee boots, both are classics in my opinion. I know some people consider like an over-the-knee boot a trendy shoe. I don't think it is. I know it might not be the most fashion forward, but no one can discount that these are cute boots. Right? I mean, you cannot argue with that. An over-the-knee boot is so cute, literally. The ones I have are from Stuart Weitzman. These are my Stuart Weitzman lowland boots. I do have the highland boots too, but in terms of the footwear that I actually wear the most, the lowlands are definitely it versus the highlands. The highlands, I think, are a little bit more of a fantasy self-purchase for me. And as we already discussed, I don't think fall and winter is the fantasy self season apart from very important apart from the holiday party season. Right there, I think we can sparkle and shine to our heart's extent, but in terms of like leaving our home in the questionable weather that is fall and winter, I think the less fantasy self the purchase, the better. These are such a classic boot. They're just a suede boot. These I have sprayed time and time and time again with water protectant spray. These I've had literally for years. Another pro with an over-the-knee boot, your legs will be warmer because you literally have a suede layer of bootness that will protect you from the weather, right? I know an over-the-knee boot is not everyone's cup of tea, but I just wanted to mention them because I think they are a classic fall and winter boot that I would not want to live without in my collection at least. Now I have another Stuart Weitzman boot that is a little bit more classic, timeless, and not controversial, I guess. A little leather riding boot. These are a 50-50 boot in all leather, so they don't have the stretchy part on the back. These I've had for such a long time. They literally just perform year on year. I would not want to live without these. These are probably one of the best purchases in my wardrobe because I've worn them like literally on a daily basis every fall and winter season. They have a stitched sole. I have recently put a new little layer of soles underneath them at my local cobbler, because that's one of the things, right? Do make sure that you take care of your boots, right? Because especially if you're gonna buy expensive footwear, don't just wear them one season and then discard them. Just make sure you take care of them, wear them, love them year after year, and they will love you back. Literally. These are such a great boot. A Stuart Weitzman boot is a solid choice any day, I would say. I think Stuart Weitzman makes beautiful footwear also for the fall and winter season, maybe mainly for the fall and winter season. I think my favorite Stuart Weitzman boots, or my favorite Stuart Weitzman shoes, as we all just noticed. I think about boots when I think about Stuart Weitzman, and I think that's actually when they shine. So if you're gonna buy one Stuart Weitzman shoe, definitely buy a boot, because they do such high quality boots. I have another suede boot. These are my grandma's suede boots. I adore these. Just get yourself a cozy looking suede boot. They will go with everything in fall and winter, and you can thank me later. Like I said, these are my grandma's, so she's had them for years and years. I'm wearing them now, but there is literally no brand. All I can see is that these are size 38 and they're made in Italy, and that's it. But these are just brilliant. Like, if you want to dress up your outfit, but you still want to feel like warm and cozy, get yourself a nice heeled boot. Like in fall and winter, gone are the days where we're just tipper-tappering around in our little, you know, stiletto heels. Sure, you can do that from time to time if you have like an indoor party, but at least for my lifestyle, I don't really wear like heels, like proper heels in fall and winter, because that is just an accident waiting to happen. But a chunky little heeled boot in fall and winter, I think is a staple. These are not super practical. These are a velvet Stuart Weitzman heeled boot. These, I think, are the perfect heel height. I think these are 7 centimeter heel. These I can walk to and from work in and not die, you know, even in the winter. Okay, maybe not when it's snowing, because then the little velvet would cry, but you know, a little sock boot. I know sock boots are not really cool anymore, but I think with a skirt, a sock boot cannot be argued with. I think they do work pretty well in terms of like elongating your leg. I think they're a solid shoe choice. Stuart Weitzman, I'm not sure if they make these anymore, but a little classic sock boot you can find anywhere, especially like with a pointy toe. I feel like everyone does these. Don't buy the Balenciaga ones. I've seen like horrible reviews. I've had these for years and years. I think I bought these in 2019. They still look brilliant. That could not be said from the reviews I saw on the Balenciaga ones, right? But these are not as pointy either. The Balenciaga ones were literally like the knife boots, right? They literally had a knife on the toe box, right? So don't get those. Don't bother. They're too expensive anyway, in my opinion, to be worth it. Now, some other heeled boot recommendations. These are from a brand named Rizzo, I think it's pronounced. I think it's something that was started in Sweden, at least. It's Rizzo. I do have some loafers from them. I have some other boots from them, and they're brilliant quality. They're made in Italy. They're an all leather boot. They did have a leather sole, but I put a rubber sole underneath, as I do with most of my shoes. Since they go up a little bit higher on the leg, they pair fabulously with a dress or a skirt. So a little heeled boot in leather is probably the more practical choice versus a suede, which is the next thing we're gonna talk about. These I bought in Germany a long time ago. These are from the brand Floris van Bommel. These boots I think are just gorgeous. I've seen some other gorgeous boots from them too. This is the only pair of boots I own from them though. But why I love them so much when I bought them was this amazing green color detail. I think green is one of my favorite little, apart from like Bordeaux or like navy blue or like chocolate brown, right? But green is such a classic little color for fall and winter that, I mean, these I will have forever. These are, I think, a 7 centimeter heel, so once again, that perfect heel height. They're super comfortable. The leather, or the suede I should say, quality feels awesome. So these are just a brilliant boot. And Floris van Bommel, I think, is a little bit of an underrated brand that makes beautiful footwear. So if you haven't heard of them before, do check them out. And they're not as expensive as some of the other brands that we've talked about today. So I think They're brilliant little boots. Obviously, we cannot talk about fall and winter footwear without talking about some sparkly shoe options too. I think you know where I stand in this matter. I think if you're gonna wear like a little holiday party or something shoe, there's nothing better than a Manolo. I think a Manolo gives holiday party like there's nothing else. I think a Manolo is timeless, classic, and chic. I know some people are sick of Manolos, but I am not one of them personally. I think a Manolo is the best heel or the best like party shoe on the market. I have 3 pairs of Manolos. These I wore to the office Christmas party last year because, I mean, you cannot argue with a black Manolo Hangisi. This black Manolo Hangisi is a 10.5 centimeter heel, so they are quite a high heel. I would say if you want a comfortable heel, don't go with this heel height. This, in my opinion at least, with my pain tolerance, is a little bit uncomfortable. If you're going for the heeled version, do size down. I wear a size 37 and these fit me perfectly. I've never even gotten a blister from a Manolo heel, so I think in terms of comfortability for like not like cutting your feet to shreds like a Christian Louboutin would do, then these are a brilliant option. These are a more fabulous option in my opinion because, I mean, just look at that sparkle. This sparkle is just sparkling. The sparkle is just priceless with a Manolo Blahnik. For a holiday party shoe, don't look further, just get yourself a little Manolo Blahnik Hangisi. If you want a little saving on them, do check preloved because you can get a pretty substantial saving if you buy them on the preloved market. If you're not a heels girly, but you still want a sparkly little shoe, Manolo Blahnik does flats too. I think if you are going to buy a Manolo Blahnik flat, maybe size up a little bit. These are a size 38. Like I said, I normally wear a size 37.5. These fit me brilliantly. So for the flats, I size up half a size. For the heels, I size down half a size. For reference, I do have a narrow foot, so do keep that in mind. If you have a wide foot, you might want to think differently, but just look at that sparkle. These I will definitely wear to the holiday party vibes this year. I think do not wear these out in fall and winter. A satin shoe in the weathery weather will not do you well, but these are an indoor shoe. These are my comfortable heel height Manolos, in my opinion, right? These are my green ones. These are also a fabulous holiday party shoe. Like I said, 7 centimeter size. The aesthetic of them is not as appealing, right? If you look at them like this versus a 10 centimeter. But honestly, when you wear them, I don't think they make a big difference in terms of like oomph and like, I don't know, in terms of the aesthetics. If you think about it, like the return on investment on wearing the shoe is this, right? It's the sparkle. Like just pick the heel height that you feel comfortable. Don't think about like, no, the 10 centimeter one is a little bit more aesthetic and that is cuter and blah, blah, blah. No, people won't notice. They look at this, they look at the sparkle, right? Because the sparkle is sparkling like there's no tomorrow with these. People don't notice the heel height. Just pick, like I said, the heel height that you find comfortable. Wear them time and time again. You will regret it if you buy the higher heel height. I'm speaking from experience here, obviously. You will be less comfortable in the higher heel, right? And the lower heel will just, like, unless you're one of those people who wears like, I don't know, high heels on a daily basis anyway, which I'm definitely not, right? You know, just pick comfort and sparkle, but don't pick like uncomfort and sparkle because the sparkle won't save you from your feet hurting, you know? So these were 20 pairs of shoes that I have in my fall and winter shoe collection. Obviously, I didn't talk about like the, you know, more unaesthetic, like actual proper winter shoes. For those, I have a pair of Sorel boots. I think they do keep me definitely warm. They're kind of cute, but they're not the most aesthetic choice of shoe, you know, but those are like the actual like proper winter boot that I wear when I actually have to keep like warm in the snowy weather, you know. But these were my more aesthetic, more like little kind of fashionable footwear, if I do say so myself, in terms of the fall and winter shoes. I hope this gave you a little bit of inspiration of what shoes to be on the lookout for the fall and winter season. You don't need 20 pairs of fall and winter shoes. I am just literally a crazy person when it comes to cute footwear, so I do not practice what I preach here. I think you can have half or even half of the shoe collection that I have here to do super well in fall and winter. If you cover a few of these categories, then I think you'll do so well for fall and winter. And do remember to, if you buy suede shoes for this fall and winter, spray them down, please, to make sure that they stand the test of time. Guys, this was my shoe ramble for the cold weather season. I do hope you enjoyed it. Did I forget to talk about a shoe type that you think I should have mentioned? I'm so keen to hear, because I sat down and I thought about it, and I think I've covered the bases when it comes to fall and winter shoes, but if you have more suggestions, I would be all ears, guys. Thank you so much for spending this time and space with me today. If you have not had enough of me just yet, then I'll link another video right here in case you've not already seen it. I will see you back here next Sunday at 3 p.m. Swedish time, obviously. If you did like this video, don't forget to give this a little thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until my next video, stay safe, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye!